Hello, my name is Aiden. Now I'm introducing my presentation in Galileo Galilei. First slide is early life. Galileo Galilei occupation is scientist and mathematics and astronomer. He was born February 1556 in Pisa, Italy. He was dead January 8, 1642 in Tuscany, Italy. He is best known for improving the telescope to be used to study the planets and stars. Next slide is early life. Early life is Galileo was born in Pisa, Italy, where he grew up with brothers and sisters. During the Italian Renaissance, his father was a music teacher and famous musician. His father and his family moved to the city of Florence. When he 10 years old, it was in Florence that Galileo began his education at the Camaldolese Monastery. Galileo was an unfinished musician and an excellent student. At first, he wanted to become a doctor. So he went to the University of Pisa to study medicine in 1581. Next slide is a building scientist. A building scientist is while at university Galileo became interested in physics and mathematics. One of his first scientific observation was with a lamp hanging from the ceiling in the center. He noted that despite how far the lamp swung, it took the same amount of time to swing back and forth. This observation didn't agree with the common scientific principles of the day. Next slide is Tower of Pisa experiment. Tower of Pisa experiment is one of the traditional beliefs was that if you drop two items of different weight, but the same size and shape, the heavier item would land first. Galileo tested this idea by going to the top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. He dropped two bells of the same size but different weight. They landed at the same time. Galileo experiment made some people angry, however, they didn't want the traditional views to be questioned. In 1592, Galileo moved from Pisa to the University of Pisa, where he was permitted to experiment and discuss new ideas. Next is telescope. Telescope is in 1609, Galileo heard of an invention from Holland called the telescope that could make far away items appear much closer. He decided to build his own telescope. He made great improvements to the telescope and began to use it to view the planets. Soon Galileo's version of the telescope was used throughout Europe. Next is astronomer. Astronomer is Galileo made many discoveries using his telescope, including the four large moons around Jupiter and the phases of the planet Venus. He also discovered spots and learned that the moon was not smooth, but was covered with correctors. Next is prism. Prism is as Galileo studied the planets and the sun. He became convinced that the Earth and the other planets orbit the sun. In 1632, he wrote a book called The Dialogue concerning the two-shaped world system. In this book, he described why he thought the Earth orbited the Sun. However, the powerful Catholic Church considered Galileo's ideas a heresy. At first, they sentenced him to life in prison, but later allowed him to live at his home in Tuscany under house arrest. This is Galileo continued to write while under house arrest. In his later years, he became blind. He died on January 8, 1642. Interactive facts about Galileo. Galileo published the first scientific paper based on observation made of a telescope in 1610. It was called the Saturn Messenger. In later years, the Catholic Church changed their view on Galileo and they regarded how he was treated. Galileo noted that the planet Saturn was round. It was later discovered that Saturn had strings. Years before he said he came up with a platter design used for keeping time. He was said that the sun is a dust planet revolving around it can still repent a bunch of grades as if it had nothing else in the universe to do. The end. Thank you for listening to my presentation.